I reported a thief at work, and I got fired for it, banned from the store for life. So I got the manager's nephew arrested, and I got the manager fired. Here's how it happened. I was 25 years old, working the overnight shift as a cashier at a big chain grocery store. I'd been there a couple of months, still new, still trying not to make waves. That's when I noticed something strange at the self-checkout. One of the other employees, we'll call him Marcus, 19 years old, had walked out one night without finishing his transaction. Now, that happens sometimes. A card doesn't go through. Someone gets distracted. So, I didn't think much of it. I definitely didn't want to cause a scene over a candy bar and a soda. So, I just finished the transaction myself, paid it off with my own card, and moved on with my life. Big mistake, being that generous. But I didn't know it yet. A few days later, it happened again. Marcus checked out, and once more, the transaction didn't finish. This time, I did it properly. We had a logbook for recording unfinished self-checkout transactions for loss prevention purposes. I wrote his name down. I figured, that's that. Someone would follow up. He'd get asked to pay. End of story. A few more days pass. Marcus checks out again. This time, it's $30 worth of stuff. And keep in mind, this was years ago, when $30 actually meant something. I logged it, again. And this is where things got strange. The previous entry, the one with his name on it, was gone. Missing from the book. Like it had never even been written. So, I fixed it. Re-added his name. Finished logging the new entry. And this time, I took photos. Of both pages. Just in case. Over the next few weeks, this became a pattern. Marcus checks out. Doesn't pay. I log it. And every single time, his name mysteriously disappears from the record before I check again. Eventually, I had enough photos, enough proof of both the theft and the tampering, that I decided it was time to go over someone's head. I came in early one morning to catch the manager. We'll call her Lorraine, 47 years old, before her shift ended. I showed her everything, right there on my phone. She looked through the logs. Then she asked me to send her the photos and, quote, for legal purposes, delete them from my phone. So, I did. She watched me do it. I left that meeting actually feeling good. Like I'd done the right thing. Like something would finally happen. I want you to really sit with how naive that feeling was. Because the very next day, the day before Marcus's next shift, Lorraine called me into her office. She said my 90-day probation period was coming up, and the team didn't think I was, quote, the right fit. I was let go. No prior complaints. No warnings. Nothing. I didn't fight it. Confrontation has never been my strong suit. But I cried in my car because I actually liked that job. The benefits were great, and it was the closest store to my house. Weeks later, I stopped into that same store to grab some groceries, and I overheard two employees talking about how Lorraine's nephew, Marcus, was completely useless, and how they couldn't wait for him to leave for college. Lorraine's nephew. It hit me, all at once. I hadn't just reported some random employee. I had reported my manager's own nephew for stealing to her face, and then handed her all the evidence. Of course I got fired. The day before his next shift. I probably still would have let it go. But then, I got to the checkout that day, and Lorraine was standing right there. She told me I was no longer welcome in that store, or any store she ever worked at, for the rest of my life. Empty-handed. Banned from my own neighborhood grocery store. Over nothing I had done wrong. And that's what finally set me off. I went home, and I remembered something Lorraine never knew. My phone automatically backed up every photo to my computer, because, honestly, my phone storage was garbage. I never would have thought to check if I hadn't been standing in that parking lot with no groceries and a lifetime ban. I found every single photo. So, I emailed the whole story to corporate. Every log entry. Every disappearing name. Everything. I heard the rest secondhand, but apparently, corporate took it very seriously. Higher-ups showed up with a regional manager. They pulled the loss prevention logs, checked the surveillance footage, and started asking some very pointed questions about both Marcus and Lorraine. A few days later, Marcus was called into a meeting and walked out of it in handcuffs, escorted by police. Lorraine didn't get arrested, but she did get fired. We lived in a small town, and apparently, there wasn't much else going on because I got to read all about it in the local paper. Turns out, Marcus had been stealing from that store for 3 years. Over $10,000 in merchandise. He was convicted of a felony. He served prison time. And the best part? That came about a year later. I ran into Lorraine again, at a different store. She was working as a bagger. The manager who abused her position to protect her nephew was now working the lowest paying, lowest power job in the entire building. Meanwhile, I had a better job, better pay, better benefits, and I was happy. I let her bag my groceries. I even tipped her a few dollars because, hey, I'm not a monster. But I also grabbed a sticky note from my bag, and I wrote her a message. Then I wrapped it around the bills so she wouldn't see it until later. It said, "Sorry, Karma smacked you so hard." But hopefully, this helps. I never got to see her face when she read it, but I still think about it, and I still smile. That's my favorite petty revenge story. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more stories, just like this one, every week.